Hi, today we're going to have a look at Tears in Heaven by Eric Clapton, and it's the unplugged version where he plays along with Andy Fairweather-Lowe, who plays on the other guitar. First thing to say is that he uses a nylon strung guitar for this, so a classical guitar will do very well. This is a flamenco guitar. It's a Conde Hermanos made in 1994. I've had it for quite some time. In fact, it's quite a good one. And it gives you that characteristic sort of twangy noise which they make in that particular recording. We're going to take you through the four bits of it: the introduction, the verse, the chorus, and the bridge that they use as well, and some of the tiny subtleties inside of it, and also a bit of theory, and show you how he gets this wonderful sound for Tears in Heaven. A little bit of theory about what he's doing here to create this kind of funereal, processional feel to things is that in a couple of occasions he uses what's known as the first inversion for the bass of the chord. What is that? Well, if you take any chord, let's say take D, and you've got the triad which is D, F sharp and A, the first inversion is you take that F sharp as your bass. So for instance, to do it here in a simple way, it would look like this. And I take the F sharp here on the second fret of the sixth string. It's a nice sound. Eric Clapton is a great thumb user. Controversy rages over this. Jeff Lynne is a massive thumb user, as was Jimi Hendrix. I'm not. I tend to do this because I'm a kind of classical player. So he uses that first inversion on the D with the F sharp bass, but also he does an E with a G sharp bass as well, which you can find, fortunately, if you just slide up 2 frets, you can get it there. Okay? That's a little bit of theory. That's what he's doing along the way in order to get there. The piece starts in A, and then it has a bridge in the middle which is in G, and then it moves into A after that again, so it's A, G, A is the kind of basic structure of it. The introduction is great because it sets the scene for the verse. There's very little difference between the introduction and the verse. So let's play it, and I'll show you the bits of it in a second. It's really it's a descending bass line. So it starts with on an A major scale. So it starts on an A, goes down to G sharp, F sharp, E, F sharp, E, E, A. And then we're using the first inversions to put the chords over it. So it starts with this hammer on the sixth string onto the second fret, and moving on to the A. Nice flip with the D. Yeah. And then we have our first inversion here on the E major chord. So we've got our G sharp bass there. And then you have F sharp minor seventh. And then F sharp minor seventh with an E bass. Moving down to our D with an F sharp bass, our first inversion of the D chord. And that's actually E7, so that's 4, but to you and me, all you do is you're basically lifting off your finger there. And E7, get G sharp there, first fret of the third string, you resolve into A. And that's how the introduction works. The good news is that the verse is very, very similar to the introduction, except for the last sort of 2 bars. And so you start off with that kind of characteristic thing we were talking about before. that basically that last two bars which are any different, and they actually end on that kind of F, a D with the F sharp bass, and you got the E. And so you're having an A and C sharp here, and then the B and the D on the third and second strings. And you're away again, and that takes you to the chorus. The chorus is very beautiful indeed. It starts off in F minor 7th. It's got one tricky chord inside of it, but you must think of it again as a kind of descending bass line. And it sounds a bit like this. So the chords are F minor 7th here, and then it's technically it's a C sharp with an E sharp bass. The way to think about this chord is that if that's a D, then semitone down must be C sharp. Yeah. To get the E sharp bass, which is to you, me, and F, it's here. So what you could do is you could do that with your thumb, yeah. That's a bit unwieldy to me. The other way of doing it is kind of just bar the top first fret and then get C sharp on the second fret of the second string. I've watched him on the Unplugged concert, and I think that, and I've listened to it as well, and I think actually what he does is he takes the F there and the third fret of the fourth string. Same sort of thing, yeah. But if you're playing on your own, you probably want that bass, so you get that descending bass line. Yeah. And then, as we're going back down, now we're going down to E on the bass, and you have an A7 chord. Again, that first inversion idea. Then F sharp 7, sus 4, which is the B there. Yeah. And this is technically an F sharp with an A sharp bass. Yeah, but it's just basically the A sharp here on the first fret of the third, fifth string, and the C sharp here, and then a B minor 7th, and then it's a D with an E bass, that thing which Genesis made a fortune out of. I should say one thing about that run up though, is that sometimes, or on one occasion at least, he does this. He goes G sharp, G sharp and the B here, yeah, on the fourth string, fourth fret of the sixth and the third strings, and then he does that A sharp C sharp thing. Yeah. Away you go. But just watch out for that. He varies it slightly on some occasions, but it's really nice. To get into the bridge, which is in G, we end up second time through the chorus on that, waiting on our A chord, and it moves into just a simple run up from A, B, and then into C major. That time will bring you down, so that's the bring gives you the G with the B bass, the first inversion again, A minor, and then we end up on our D with an F sharp bass, resolve into G. So it all sounds like this. And that's just simply at the end there, just going D with an F sharp bass, down to E minor. And to get back in again, it's F sharp and a D and a G. Just repeats the whole thing again. and then Begging Please, you resolve into an E major, which gets you back into the A section again. And the run up is just that C sharp and A on the third and second strings, and then your B and D to give you an E7 there. And you're into and you're away again. And that's essentially it. There's no more chords in it than that, to be absolutely honest with you. There are a couple of variations around the place, but besides that, that's it. And if you can follow that, you can play Tears in Heaven by Eric Clapton. Thanks very much for watching.